Good morning. I'm Thomas Buchanan. I'm on maintenance. I've been on maintenance for a little while. This is maintenance week 26. If there are 4 weeks in a month, that means I've been on maintenance for 6+ months. Don't tell me you can't keep the weight off once you lose it. I'm doing it. Um, so today is December the 12th. It is Thursday. Woke up today popped up a little bit, not too bad. 203.0. 203.0. I love the questions I get from viewers and the comments. Um, Look, water fasting is a meat-axe approach to losing weight. I've never said it wasn't. Okay. But when you compare water fasting, i.e., not eating food, to liposuction, where they stick a tube in your stomach and they literally suck out the fat, which would you rather do? Which really is a meat-axe approach. You don't think liposuction is a meat-axe approach to losing weight? Bullshit. There are many different automobiles in the world. There are many different companies that make many different models all over the world. There's no one way to do anything in this life. I'm just showing you on a daily basis one way that I have found that works for me. And I've been told you're too old to lose weight. I'm 69 pushing 70. You're too old to be able to keep the weight off. You have a slow metabolism. I've been told you're big boned. I've been told your brother's fat, your sisters are obese. You've got the fat gene. I'm sending you air quotes here. The fat gene. And these are all people that really, honest to God, they believe what they're saying. Just because they believe it, though, doesn't mean that it's right. I mean, think about that. Who are you listening to? And I know I have a lot of videos directed towards people on maintenance, as I'm on maintenance, and a lot of my followers are on maintenance. But this video is directed to you newbies, you folks who are on the fence. Well, I kind of want to try water fasting, but I'm not sure I can do it. When you get sick enough, when you have your health deteriorates to the point where you're going to do something or you're going to die, you'll make a lifestyle change. I guarantee it. When your blood pressure gets high enough, when your diabetes gets bad enough, when your weight gets high enough, I mean, God, I can't believe I was ever at 315.0 pounds. I mean, I weighed over 300 pounds. There is no excuse, folks. There is no excuse for you being fat. There is no excuse for you being obese. There is no excuse for me ever being that obese. From one adult to another, get your shit together. I'm not sure what's causing you so much stress in life, but figure it out and stop using food as a crutch. And I personally don't care how sick you are, how poor your health is. I mean, I'm 69, let's face it, we're all gonna die. The choice we have is do we want a single casket or do we want a double wide casket? Because we were so stressed out that we used food as a crutch and we just grew larger and larger and larger. So going back to my statement, well, I've been told water fasting is a meat X approach to losing weight. Really? Is it? Do you really think water fasting is a meat X approach versus taking Ozempic or Fen, which is what I took back in the day, or some pill that some pharmaceutical company made up, put together, designer drug, and they have no idea the long-term effects on the human body of Ozempic. We back then had no idea the long-term effects of Fen on the body. Were there any? You bet your sweet bippy there was. And you're looking at me right now and you're telling me water fasting is a meat X approach? I would challenge that. I would say water fasting is an alternative way to lose weight that is not recognized by medical science because no one's bothered to do a study on it. It's kind of like, you know, I can see somewhat the benefit to supplements, but because no one in the medical community has done a study on supplements in depth, long term, they don't really recognize supplements. And by the way, I'm not selling supplements. Okay, I'm not selling you anything. I'm just saying there might be a place for supplements. But do not use supplements to lose weight. You do not need to exercise. Zero exercise. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need to buy prepackaged foods and spend thousands of dollars, which is what I did. And back 4+ years ago, I love today's world. They have a label, they have a term for everything. Back 4+ years ago, when I stumbled on water fasting, and I figured out, well, for the first 7 days, you get no food, no coffee, no tea, no water, no meds, nothing, because you need to purge your body of the crap you've been eating. And for the first 7 days, that's going to kick the process off. Well, now there's a medical term. God bless those doctors. It's called dry fasting now. Well, you and I have been doing dry fasting for a number of years. And again, dry fasting is just simply for the first 7 calendar days, you get no food, no coffee, no tea, no water, nothing. Nothing shall pass across your lips. So I'm amused by the professionals as well as just common ordinary people, and the scripts they play in their own mind, and the what they tell you is right or wrong, and as far as consuming food, and they really believe what they're saying. I mean, I had 5 new people that have started their water fast over the past 5 days. I applaud you. I applaud your courage. I applaud you finally reaching the point at which, and 2 of you have said, I've tried this and I've tried that, and what the heck, nothing that I've tried is working, either short or long term. I'll try water fasting. Welcome to you all. Just keep in mind, and again, this video is primarily for you folks on the fence or you folks on a water fast. Keep in mind, you can't cheat. Okay? Plain and simple. If you cheat, and I know we're adults, and if you have not cleared your cupboards of the stuff that's going to tempt you to cheat, do it now. Don't wait. You should not start a water fast with cookies in the house. You should not start a water fast with potato chips in the house. You should not start a water fast with ice cream and pizza and pie in your house. Get rid of that stuff. Go find someone that you hate and give it to them so you can clog their arteries up. Yes, I did just say that. Uh, you know, that's a very hard lesson to learn, because several years ago, when I was toying around with water fasting, I mean, I didn't know you couldn't cheat. I didn't know you can't even drink water the first 7 calendar days. I listened to hydration nation, you've got to drink X gallons of water a day. No, you don't. It's wrong. Don't, please. And for the first 7 calendar days, you don't even get water. You're going to feel like your inside organs are on the outside of your body. You'll feel that awful. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You might not sleep well at night. You're probably going to have one heck of a caffeine headache. But this too shall pass. You will get over the hump. It will take you 7 to 10 calendar days before you start to improve. And I always like to tell the story. My hand on the Bible, it's true. You know, people say, again, going back to water fasting is a meat-axe approach. Well, you know, I don't know about you, but I listen to my doctors. I mean, they would say take a thyroid pill. I'd take a thyroid pill. They would say go get needles and shoot insulin into your thigh and your stomach. That will help your diabetes. I did that. You know, I followed the doctor's directions. You've got this issue, take this pill. You've got that issue, take this pill. You've got high blood pressure, take this pill. I mean, I was taking so many pills that my wife would walked into a room not once, but twice and saw me. I had passed out. I kissed the concrete. I mean, she literally thought I was dead. Do you really think your doctor knows or cares of how drug A interacts with drug B and how drugs A and B interact with drugs? Oh, I'm sure they do exhaustive research into that. Bull. That's why I walked into my doctor's office one day and I said, you know, you recommended Ideal Protein. I paid thousands of dollars for the little prepackaged food and the supplement. You know, got to buy the special supplements. And I lost weight for as long as I paid the thousands of dollars. And then once I went back to eating normal food, I gained it all back. So I walked in my doctor's office. I said, look, Ideal Protein didn't work, isn't working. Jenny Craig isn't working. Nutrisystem, I tried that not once, but twice. It's not working. I'm going to try water fasting. I'm going to do it my way. And oh, by the way, I'm going off all meds as of tomorrow morning. Well, he about passed out. He's like, he had an aw shit moment. He's like, well, you know, you're on some very powerful medications, and I don't advise you to go cold turkey off of those. I said, Doc, that's what's happening tomorrow morning. I'm done. I will figure this out. And I did the following morning, 4+ years ago. I mean, I went off the blood pressure meds. I went off the thyroid meds. I went off the insulin. I went off the metformin. I went off just fill in the blank. Now, I had a viewer recently say, well, but you could have died. Yeah, I could have died. And see, I recognize that. But I was willing to take that risk. Because when you've already passed out twice and kissed the concrete twice, you figure the current plan is not working. Come up with a new plan. Could I have died? Sure, absolutely. Because that's one thing the doc and I do agree on. those were pretty powerful medications. I mean, I don't even take baby aspirin now. Okay, I take no drugs. And I mean, we're not talking marijuana and cocaine and PCP and whatever the other designer party drug. I've never done drugs in my life other than take what a doctor prescribed. Never. You know, I grew up back in the Betty Ford just say no movement to drugs. And honestly, in my heart of hearts, I think we're just being so over medicated with drugs. I think it's so wrong. People people the problem with people nowadays is they don't solve the problem in their life. They look to for a drug to get them through day by day. But they never address the problem. If you have job problems, go find a new job. If you have health problems, I can tell you the first thing you should do is lose weight. If you have financial problems, back in my day, and there again, I'm going to age myself, you went and got a part time job to supplement your full time job. Now, the correct political term is a side hustle. Call it what you want, folks. You know, if you've got spousal problems, hell, get rid of your spouse. No, I don't mean kill her, divorce her. Divorcing. If he's that bad to you, get rid of him. I mean, the point in me ranting on here is to hopefully bring to your attention if you've got stressors in your life, deal with the stressors. You know, I told you yesterday or the day before, I mean, my credit card was compromised this Christmas. That's very stressful to have the credit card company call you and say, "Did you make were you recently in Chino, California, eating at these restaurants?" I mean, you know, I had an aw shit moment there. I'm like, no, I don't even know what Chino, California is. I mean, we all have stressors. Deal with it. You know, my response was A, cancel the card immediately. B, do not issue me a new card. I'm going back to cash. I mean, cash has worked for 100 years. I know everybody's into the plastic nowadays. I know that's what's being forced upon us. But cash still works. Cash is still king. So when my final charge card bill comes, I will just pay it. It has been nothing but a nightmare, and I'll not get another one. Period. You know, I mean, I can remember the day, this is 5 decades, 6 decades ago, when I was young and fresh out of high school and applying for my first charge card and got turned down 2 or 3 times. Because, you know, when you're 16, 17, 18, you work at McDonald's making $3 an hour, you have no credit. right? So they won't give you a charge card. I'm going back to those days. I don't want their charge cards. I'm done. I don't want their frequent flyer miles. I'm done. That's how I dealt with that stressor over the past day or two. You know? So deal with the stresses in your life. Stop looking for a drug to make your life better. Deal with the stressors in your life. You know, you've got to. I don't care whether you're water fasting or whether you've lost the weight as I have and you're maintaining your weight. I mean, life doesn't care whether you're on a water fast or you're on maintenance. Life is going to throw everything it can at you. You know, there's an old saying, life is not fair. There's another saying that, you know, Murphy will hit you when you're down. That's Murphy's Law. I mean, life is nothing but a series of challenges and problems that you have to solve. You know, you have to have a place to live. You have to have food. And in today's world, I would challenge you that you have to have a vehicle. You have to have a car, good working car. I mean, there are certain things in life that you must have to get through life. I mean, I don't care if you live in a house, an apartment, a condo, a trailer. I don't care if you live in your car. You have to have a place to sleep. You have to have food to eat. You have to, most of us have to have a job. You have to have income coming in. Again, deal with the stressors in your life. Don't pop a pill in your mouth. Really? I don't know you personally, but I'm sure you have average intelligence, if not a little above average intelligence in some areas. I used to be when I was 315 pounds, I had a waist of size 56. That's like two small adults put together. My waist was that large. And really, a size 56 waist was pushing it. I was probably a 58 or 60, really. And for you folks on the fence, one day you will walk by a mirror and say, my God, I don't know who that person is. You will walk by a mirror, full length mirror, not nude, with your clothes on. You will walk by a full length mirror and you will say, my God, how did I get that fat? How did I get that obese? I've got to do something. I may not be able to control my job, my employment, my health, my car breaking down, my whatever, but you'll reach the point at which you say, I'm going to start addressing my weight. That I can address, that I can start to figure out. That's what I did. Because, I never refused a scan from the doctors, never refused blood work. I mean, I've donated enough blood to float a battleship. CAT scans, MRIs, EKGs, stress tests. Uh, I can't even name them all. I never, ever said no. I always got in my car, went and had whatever test run they wanted to run. And one day I got wise. I'm a little slow, but one day I got wise and I said, it seems like the doctors and the hospitals are very good at running tests, but not really good at addressing the problems at all. The problems never get fixed because there's always another test to run. That's how doctors get rich, make money. They've got to they've got to be able to bill and get paid. My doctor told me once privately, he's like, Thomas, I've got to see 35 patients a day just to break even. That's not even to make money. I have to see 35 patients a day just to pay the overhead and break even. It's a numbers game. If you think some hospital or some doctor is going to spend hours and days and weeks researching your issues and devoting tons of time to your situation, you live in a panacea. They would much rather just write you a script, give you a prescription, you run down to the pharmacy and get a pill, and you pop the pill in your mouth. I told my foot doctor, I thought doctors should be put in jail for the pills that the volume of pills that they were giving Americans. I told her they're nothing short of drug dealers. Well, that didn't go over too well, as you might ask or might imagine. But I sincerely believe that. I believe in you. I think you have enough intelligence to work on your own problems and figure your own problems out. You're not stupid. And for you folks who are on the fence going, man, I'd like to do water fasting, but I don't know if I could. I don't know if I should because I've got this problem and that problem and that. Try it for 4 weeks. Your first week to 10 days are going to be your hardest. Your first 7 calendar days you get no food, no water, no coffee, no tea, no liquids, no nothing. Only on the 8th calendar day do you get 3 8 to 12 ounce glasses of water a day. That's all. You still don't get food, not until you reach your goal weight or until you reach the end of the 4-week trial. And whatever you do, and I always show this, track your weight on a daily basis. Not for me, for you. Show yourself that water fasting works. Prove to you that you can do this. I know I sound like a Baptist preacher, but when I look back at the past, when I look back just and focus on all of the tests that were run, all of the scans that were done, the thousands upon thousands of dollars of prepackaged food that I bought, all of the money I spent on supplements, I shake my head. That's why I tell you, this is a teaching learning channel. I don't share with you anything on my channel generally that I haven't personally done myself. I get I get asked occasionally, have you ever cheated on a water fast? Absolutely. I am an adult. I have no willpower. I now know that. But when I cheated on my water fast, I also figured out I need to go back to week 1, day 1, and start a new water fast all over again. And you get no liquids, no water, no coffee, no tea, no nothing, no food, again for the next 7 calendar days. And then on the 8th calendar day, you get your 3 8 to 12 ounce glasses of water a day. You can do this. It's not easy. But let me just be honest with you here. Life is not easy. Forget water fasting. Listen to what I'm saying. Life is not easy. I've never had a viewer contact me and say, oh, my life is easy. I have no problems. I have no stressors in my life. Everything is just hunky dory. Everything is wonderful. Life is hard. Life was hard a year ago. Life is hard today. Life is going to be just as hard and just as challenging a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Don't focus on the life is hard. Start focusing. And if you remember nothing else that I've said today, remember this. Start focusing on how you deal with stressors in your life. Start focusing not on life is hard. Start focusing on real solutions to your problems. and implement those solutions. That is what I want you to take away today. That is what I want you to understand and realize today. So I have gone on as long as a Baptist preacher. I do apologize for the length of this video, but I had a lot to say. And I hope it sincerely helped you. I know you can't view my channel on a daily basis. I don't expect it. But I hope that when you do view what I create in these videos, and I've done now, gosh, I know I've done at least 700 videos. I hope I encourage you, and I hope I educate you. Those are my two goals in doing all of these videos. And in closing, and I don't say this often enough, but I do not have a Patreon page. I have nothing to sell you. I do not want your money. If anyone's asking you for money, it's not me. I want your viewership. I don't even care if you like and subscribe and click the bell notification. I mean, I know you're watching. I see the numbers once a month that Google provides or YouTube provides. And I'm not looking for 1 million subscribers. I don't want 100 million people watching my videos. I only want a very small group of you who woke up today and said, you know, I've done everything this man has done. And I have failed so many times. What the heck? Let me try what he's saying. Let me see, let me prove either he's lying through his teeth or he knows what he's talking about with water fasting. Let me see if it really works on me. So that's all I've got. Make it a great day. Make it a great week. The week is almost over. It is pre-Friday, what I like to call it. It's Thursday. Make sure you have some fun today. It's cold here in Texas. I hope it's warmer where you are. And I'll talk to you tomorrow.